want to say hello to everyone around the world. 47 countries SereniGy's in now. Shipping products to 42 countries. Massive demand. Not a little demand. We have a massive demand, major demand on our products. I mean, we've got our warehouses working around the clock as we move through these different phases of growth. You talk about being at the right place at the right time, and all types of folks always say, man, I wish I could have been in the beginning. When you think about Microsoft, oh, I wish I could have been in the beginning. When you think about Apple, I wish I could have been in the beginning. When you think about Dell computers, in the beginning, Google, in the beginning, Facebook, in the beginning, you know, Amway, in the beginning, Shackley, Herbalife, Nu Skin, Melaleuca, these are some giant companies now, in the beginning. All of them went through their first, second, third years to where they can get to momentum and experience explosive growth, which lasts between 5 to 20 years. All these companies have been through it. We are now doing our part. We're doing our thing. And I've navigated through these waters before. I know what these waters look like, man. And I tell you what, there is big money potential for those that know how to go ahead and stay focused on the end result. What I love about the big results that are ahead is what we can achieve on the way. We're talking about people right now supplementing their income. We have literally, guys, thousands of people who are now supplementing their income in SereniGy. Thousands. We've got hundreds of people that are making an awesome income in SereniGy. Awesome. You know, and we've got a handful of people that in our baby infancy stage are knocking this thing out of the park. We got some people that make more in a month than some people make in 3 to 5 years working a full 9-to-5 job. Now, there's no guarantees of income in SereniGy. When I talk about potentials, I'm just exercising the freedom of speech to talk about where you can be. But I always want to make sure that most people understand in network marketing in general, the industry is built on product consumption at a wholesale level, meaning you can sign up with the company, you can, you know, pay a membership fee or buy a business kit. It determines on which company calls it what, and you can get products at wholesale, and then you can take some of those products and you can sell them at retail and make a profit. When you make that profit, that's supplementing your income. And that's more money than you had. A lot of folks that are having to work full-time jobs are learning that home-based business through direct sales is the way to go to learn how to supplement their income. It's a big deal. An extra $50 to $100, maybe $300 to $500 a week or a month. That's a big deal. And so what you have to look at is along the way, what can happen on your journey for those of you that want financial independence. You know, most of the time when I show up to do a video or I come on live on SereniGy TV, I'm typically talking about those looking for financial freedom or at the very least want to replace their income. I'm the type of person I want people free. I started SereniGy because I want people free. I had reached complete time and money freedom. Now it took me to reach both of those. See, some people get money freedom, they don't have time freedom. Some people, they got a lot of time, but they don't have the money that they want. I'm talking about complete mega executive style income, residual income. It took me 14 years to do it. And so it was a big deal to me when I made a decision to start SereniGy. This was no small thing, no small decision. I mean, I really had to think about this because I know what it takes in network marketing. See, in network marketing, direct sales, you deal with people all the time. And whenever you got to deal with a lot of people, you know what? You can have a lot of challenges. Yes, I love being around people. Yes, I love all the incredible people I get to meet. But you also got to wade through the knuckleheads. You know, when you think about this, I want everyone to pay close attention today. Let me grab my markers. When you think about this, you got these categories of people. You got 27% of the population that are negative. 27%. 6% 60% of the population are what's called motivatable. They go up and down. They go up and down. You got 10% of the population that are self-motivated. And then you got 3% of the population that are motivators. Motivators. So not only are they self-motivated, they know how to motivate other people to become self-motivated. Now, these folks here, let's talk about these folks here, these 27%ers. They're negative. What will surprise you about a negative person is they will join your business with the sole purpose of dragging other people into their sucky, whining, complaining, everything, the glass is half empty world. 27%. Now look at that. We got to break it down, guys. That means out of every 100 people you meet, 27 of those people, 27 are trying to bring you into their negative world. You got another 60 that go up and down. So look at that. So that's 60 plus 27, that's 87%. That leaves you with 13% of the population that are the really go-getters, are the people that can make things happen, are the people who get the things they want pretty much out of life. You know, 10% live a very nice lifestyle. Most of them are not financially independent, but they pretty much own their life at least. Most of them are their own boss, and they make strong income. 3% are financially free. Now let me tell you something. When I got started in this industry, I was here. I was a 60%er. I was a motivator. I went up and down. And with the 60%er, you got to give them 2 chances to get it right. Most people, when they get in network marketing, they spend too much time trying to convince 27%ers and 60%ers that this is going to work. Don't do it. You will fail. Now let's get down on this training call today. Let's get down on this training video today, I should say. You got to make sure you understand this, or you will go into this world. Because these people here, these folks here, make no mistake about it, they are broke. They're broke, man. You're never ever going to find a wealthy negative person. It's just not going to happen. A person that gets wealthy has a positive attitude. They're optimistic. The glass is half full instead of half empty. They create opportunities. They make things happen. So what we got to do when we're out prospecting or we're building our teams, and for those of you that have existing teams, pay close attention. Some of these people, I'm talking about, this is the crazy part about a 27%. They will get in your team. They will even produce some volume. Some of them will even get notoriety, right? I've been doing this for 17 years. I've watched this. Then as soon as they get a little notoriety, they just can't help it. It's just in them. They are negative. They suck. They are terrible people inside. I'm telling you. I've seen them. Something happened to them that made them so sour on life that they decided to become what they end up feeling, which is terrible. And then, man, they turn around and they want to suck as much out of everybody else as they can. And I mean, some of them will get in your groups. Some of them, you might even hit. They might try to fool you for a while. They don't fool me. I'll even play the game with them a little bit. I'll watch them closely, play the game with them a little bit, and I'll just watch. And what I really like a 27%er for, they're good sorters of who can really stay focused. Because a warrior like myself, I'm looking for the real deal. I'm looking for the people who know how to stand the test of time. So I use 27%ers to sort through people and weed people and see if I can get a 27%er to distract some folks so I can find out who my real leaders are. That's what a 3%er will use a 27%er for. We won't hang out with them. We won't spend much time with them. We'll ignore them most of the time. But sometimes we'll let them coexist just to see what they're going to do with getting some of these people out of the way. Now, these 60%ers, they go up and down, they can drive you nuts. You give them 2 chances. 27, you ignore them. They're going to fool some of you. I'm telling you right now. 27% are going to fool. You're going to get in a group, but you just watch the signs. They start complaining. Oh, why can't the product hasn't showed up right now? Oh, you know, what's going on? Why is my upline not giving me enough support? That's just everything they find to bitch and complain about. Everything. You'll notice it. Soon as you hear it, you go 27%, and let's get them out of here. Soon as we clearly identify them, let's get them out of here. If they hang out, they'll do their job. They'll take the people that need to go with them and get out, the weak ones. They'll blow them out of here. But let's get them out once we identify them. And I'll do that a lot. I'll get rid of 27%. Pretty much, I'm getting 27% out every day of the company. I work with compliance, and I say, as soon as you see them, get them out of here. 60% is man. Up and down. Now, I was a 60%. And I'm telling you what, they told me you got 2 chances. That if we'll pick you up once, we'll pick you up twice, 3rd time, you're out. We don't have time. You're not going to make it. You don't have what it takes. So you got to have good, clear communication with people so that they understand what we're doing here, what we're building here. We're looking for the masses to simply supplement their income. And you know what? It's kumbaya, and it's Disneyland, and it's great, and it's phenomenal in SereniGy for the masses. They don't need to get down in the trenches with some of this high-level personal growth and high-level business building techniques. They don't need to deal with that. So what we got to do is we got to have good, crystal clear conversation with our folks and tell them, you know what? Most of the people that join this business, they just need to supplement. And what happens when people start supplementing, they get confidence, and that confidence leads to wanting to replace income. And then some of the people that want to replace, they want financial freedom. You will have a bunch of people that will jump in your SereniGy business if you're constantly recruiting. You will start signing several people up. If you're constantly on it, you'll get good at it. Trust me. And then what's going to happen is you'll have these people jumping in the business, right? Now, when they jump in the business, you need to make sure you're telling everybody, hey, most people need to supplement. But you'll have a lot of these folks say, I want financial freedom. And then once they get in, they find out it's a lot more hard work to get financial freedom than they thought. That's why the first conversation is so important. Say, hey, you remember? You don't have to get rich, but I am. Remember that last week? You don't have to get rich, but I am. Just keep working and keep progressing and supplementing your income. You can get these products at wholesale, sell them at retail. Just make sure you do at least 50 PV a month. It's around 3 boxes of coffee. Everybody can do that. That's why we get that requirement in our company that if you want to be an IBO, you have to do at least 50 a month. It lets us know who wants to distribute. An IBO is a distributor. Distributors should be distributing product. At the very minimum, at least distributing some level of product to themselves of at least 50 PV. Okay, so we're talking to people all the time, always sorting through conversations, never getting emotional about it. You find that 27% they got to go, don't get emotional. It's business. It's called the law of averages. You got to sort. You get a 60% and say, hey, you said you want financial independence. Let's talk about it. Is that what you really want? And I'm here to support you. And if you can boost them and build it back up, say, okay, that's one time. Now I'll pick you up again. And if you're going to have problems again, I got to let you kind of go on your way and just do your thing and supplement. Don't look to me to keep trying to pick you up because it will suck you to becoming negative if you always are trying to pick up motivatable people. Trust me, you end up becoming negative. So you can't afford it because you become who you hang around. So 60%ers are going to go all over the board. I had one pretty tough day when I got started in network marketing. I had one pretty tough day, I got to tell you guys. I was complaining about some stuff, and I went to my upline. Upline was complaining about my sponsor and what they were doing and not doing, and I felt they were mistreating me and da-da-da-da. And I had the experience. Man, I appreciate this lady so much now. Back then, man, I couldn't stand her that day when she had that conversation with me. She set me down, and I thought I just had my sponsor nailed. because my sponsor just wasn't doing everything I thought they should do. And I thought my sponsor was mistreating me. So I went and started talking to my team about it. Being political is what we call it, not productive. I started talking to my team, trying to get some other people gathered with me so we can gang up on my sponsor and prove to my sponsor how we're going to get them in trouble with the upline. Man, this lady sat down with me and she said, let me tell you something. If I ever catch you being political again, I am going to get you kicked out of this company. Do you understand me? She'd been in the business 3 years already. She was already making, I think at that time, $15,000, $20,000 a month. And she laid it down on me, man. And she says, you can never, ever get anywhere in this business being political. She goes, you got a problem, you take it up line. That's it. You take it up line. Don't you dare go sideline or down with it. Don't ever let me see that happen again, or you're out of here. Do you understand me? And I remember, guys, wanting to tell her off. And then I thought, if I try to tell her off, two things. One, I won't learn what she knows. Two, maybe she's right. Maybe she's making that money for a reason. She understands real business. I humbled myself. I humbled myself. And I never did it again. And then I understood as I started growing in the business that everything's not going to be perfect. It's easy to complain. But the winners, they win by staying focused on the solution. And they join a company to make it work, not find a way to not make it work. And that's what I did. I started building my momentum. Then I became a 10%. I became self-motivated. Nobody had to pick me up. Nobody had to tell me to be on conference calls. Nobody had to tell me to do presentations. Nobody had to tell me to sell products. Nobody had to tell me to pre-register for trainings. Nobody had to tell me to promote to get my people to pre-register. Nobody had to tell me to promote to get my people on conference calls. All that stuff stopped. I got up every day and I worked my business. I found ways to work my business. And that's what you got to do. If you want to go to the top of the money tree, up here where the big money's at, the 3%er, you're going to have to work your business. You got to work the decision you made. You saw SereniGy. It was a good decision. Trust me. There's no way on earth. I don't care what a person would ever tell you about your CEO. There's no way on earth. After 14 years, you put yourself in my shoes. 14 years. Complete time and money freedom. I can do whatever I want to do. I didn't have to talk to another IBO for the rest of my life. I didn't need to talk to another customer for the rest of my life. It was it. And I decided to risk that all, knowing I was working with some people who had low moral conduct and low moral intellect. Knowing that, I said, man, these people eventually are going to lead a bunch of people off a cliff. And you know what I did? I made the decision of my life, and I believe of your life. I decided to risk it all and start SereniGy. Now let me tell you something. There's no way I made that decision in a split instance. I had to size it up. I had to work it out. I had to contemplate, and I had to make a bunch of phone calls. And I had to do a bunch of research. And I had to bring in a bunch of counselors. I mean, we were talking about multi-millions of dollars happening and at stake all of a sudden right away. And I had to get wise counsel. So I know that some people, because of me not looking like the typical CEO, maybe I don't know, maybe my skin is a little different than what most people think as a CEO. Maybe my age might be a little different than what most people think. I don't know what people come up with. The fact remains, I know what I know. I pay what I pay so I can do what I do. And I made that decision after countless hours of research, and I'm talking about high level intellectual conversations. And then December 3rd, I said on a call, this is legendary, I'm starting my own deal. And we're going to have the greatest products in the world. And we're going to have the greatest pay plan, the greatest training, the greatest infrastructure. And I set my course. December 3rd, 2009. I set my sail. And there was no way we were not going to win. No way. I had already planned out 5 years before I said I'm going. You think I'm crazy? You think I'm nuts? To finally reach time and money freedom and not have this thing planned out? And I told everybody, crystal clear. I said, we don't have anything now, but we're going to have the best. And let me tell you what happened. When I announced it, there were so many people saying, he can't do it. He can't get coffee. He can't get Ganoderma. He can't put a product line together. He can't put a software system. He can't. I've been hearing that all my life. They told me that when it came to sports, I couldn't play professional sports. I wasn't tall enough, wasn't fast enough, wasn't this, wasn't that. And I dominated every time. I know how to win. It's in me. I can't tell you everything it took to bring me here. It's a whole bunch of things combined. Has a lot to do with my grandparents. Has a lot to do with my coaches. I think of Coach Johnson when I was 13 years of age. And my 2 years of junior high football made us some of the toughest little human beings in the world. I'm just telling you, I had some good people that put me through some tough training, hardcore training every step of my life. And I would complain and I'd want to quit sometime. And I remember going to my mom one day and saying, I want to quit. She said, you started, you're going to finish. Stuck with me. All these little things. I go to my mom sometime crying and she says, boy, don't you ask for life to be fair. You got to be tough and just make sure you live a life that you end up feeling is worth it. Every time I try to get people to feel sorry for me, I had the right people that wouldn't do it. Thank goodness. I had nobody that would allow me to get swelled up and swallowed up in my tears. I kept having it. I played professional baseball. You see the San Francisco Giants now, the head coach, the head manager, Bruce Bochy. I won 2 minor league championships with him. He was a great coach. I had all these instrumental people. Then I got network marketing. I had that young lady who was strong enough to tell me to stop being political. I had her work with me. Then I got some other coaching in and other mentors. And then the main mentor, it just so happened that the CEO of the company had made his millions doing network marketing and was still in the field training at that time. And I got to go to his trainings over and over for almost 4 years. I went to so many the first year and a half, I ended up becoming a trainer. One of about 14 people that would do trainings every weekend. I did 2 a month for a couple of years because I had the right coaching and training and got the right advice. And my mentor told me something one time. And I want everyone to listen to me carefully today as you're taking in this information and it's making you better. He says, if nobody's talking about you, that means you ain't doing anything. When you're making things happen, you're going to have a lot of people talking about you, lying on you, talking crap about you. You're going to have a whole bunch of people. When they do, you know you're doing something good. You are making it happen. Did you got to have thick skin? I said, oh. And I've been through so many things along that way and watched people come and go and watched a bunch of people who couldn't hang. So guess what? Because I could hang, because I grew from motivatable to self-motivated, and I was willing to keep the principles working, I finally reached the top of the money tree. Motivated. Now I've learned to motivate other people quickly. How to become from motivatable to self-motivated. It's happening to a lot of you today. Just this one conversation is enough to get some of you to do what I did. There was just a couple key conversations along my journey. It wasn't a big, long process for me to get my mind on the right course. It was the right conversation. Okay, I'm done with other people trying to pick me up. I'm going to do what I have to do every day. So, for example, when I train you to do 2 units a day, somebody gave me basic training like that. Nobody had to send me emails and reminders, even though we didn't have email back then. But nobody had to page me. I'm dating myself now. Nobody had to page me. And then eventually the cell phone came along. I mean, when I first got into business, there was a big block cell phones, 17 years ago. And nobody had to remind me. And because I stayed that course for several years, I got to reach the top of the money tree. Now you're going to have to stay the course. And you got to work your decision. I told my top student I've ever trained, I said, you got to get in the company, you got to plant your feet, and you got to stay there, and you got to work it out. You got to make it work. You got to be in love with your decision so much that you can work it out, and you can make it happen. And guess what? You end up making millions and millions of dollars. Why? Not because he's the most talented. It's because he worked his self-motivated principles for long enough and stayed with the company long enough to let it happen. So here we are in SereniGy. What's going on in SereniGy right now? Again, we're in 47 countries. We're shipping product to 42. Massive demand on our products. We've got truck 18-wheeler loads of product coming in all throughout the week. And it's going out the door. And we're increasing production more and more. You've got phases of the business. You've got formulation. That's the first year. So the headquarters, USA, Canada, we are out of formulation. We're in concentration. The international markets that we just opened up this past year are in formulation. Tough at times in formulation. You got to deal with going through the headaches of getting it formed. That's why they call it formulation. Then once you get it formed, we can concentrate on how to get all the needs met and make sure all the logistics are working right. That's the second year. The third year, if you did the first and second year right, you will go into momentum. So I expect USA, Canada to start going into momentum May 12th, 2013. Right around the corner. I expect the rest of the world to work their progression through concentration. And we prepare international. We prepare for momentum coming up in the next year or so. But we got to get through our formulation first. Then we work our concentration. Then what ends up happening is for those of you that can stick, you get to see momentum. And if you can get through momentum, which, man, a lot of waves come in on momentum. And the company's got to be ready. And that's all I'm doing every day. I'm digging every day to have us ready for momentum. To have us ready. And, man, when we get ready for momentum and we get through momentum, you hit explosive growth. And that's where most of the millionaires are created. Year 4 through 20, you got to go year 4, and then you got a 5 to 20 year run. So from year 4, you got 5 to 20 years of typical explosive growth. Will you be here for that? I'm going to be here for that. I'm going to work it, and I'm going to work it, and I've built such a deep, and I'm telling you, I don't know of anybody that has built the international infrastructure that I have built. It has cost me a lot of money, a lot of time. I don't know any network marketing company who's done it this way. Is it cost me some pain at times? Absolutely. Because it's sacrifice when you got to go build those big, deep roots. When you're digging and going through the dirt, sacrifice. Do you get sore? Do you get painful? Do you want to sometimes go, oh my goodness, what did I do? Yes, there's times I go, my goodness, I bit off a big chunk. But I say, that's what you were built for. I've already been trained for this. So what happened now is we are about to break some records. We are about to set some people free. You looking at me in my eyes? We are about to set some people free. Now you got a decision to make. Are you going to be one of these people? Are you going to be one of these people? Or will it be someone else? Because this is getting ready to happen. And you got to stay focused right now. I mean, you got to stay laser focused. You can't get distracted. You got to plant your feet down on your decision. You decided to join SereniGy. You make it work. You get that satisfaction in you that it worked. You don't listen to no gossip, because it's going to happen, man. As we grow and we start getting out there, people are going to gossip. I'm going to tell you who gossips. So you're going to get a lot of people that kind of got mid-range success, and they want what some of the top leaders have got. And what they want to do is they want to try to break legs rather than run faster, and I get rid of them. And there's some of them I'm out to get rid of, and they're going to start talking. You got to stay focused. The hell with everybody else. When I did my decision, and I made my decision, the hell with everybody else. I am going to work this decision and find other people to join me that will lock arms. That's how I got to the top of the tree. And that's how a 3%er does it. And only a 3%er can tell you what I just told you. Everybody else is just speculating. You got to deal with a 3%er that can give you sound advice. That's why it's important this time, having me talking to you, having me sharing these thoughts and philosophies and processes with you. Now, do you think I'm going to do this forever? I'm going to tell you, hell no, I'm not going to do this forever. I'm being upfront with you. I done worked, and guess what? At the age of 40, I was done. I was done. So now I'm 44 years of age as the taping of this particular video. And I'm telling you, you guys are going to have me in the trenches about another year or two. I'm thinking, okay, 45, 46, man, I'm not going past 46. When the bell says 47, I am not working in the trenches hard anymore. For the rest of my life, that's the plan. I've already paid hell and more to get it done. So you've got this special time. Can you imagine rolling with Bill Gates and Michael Dell, Steve Jobs? Can you imagine rolling with those people on their way? I'm going to roll like this, guys. I plan on being a billionaire. And there's really no way around it. As long as I do what I need to do. And I can't be a billionaire without creating many millionaires. So you'd have to be nuts. Just like the people that sat down in Bill Gates' garage. 5 people. 3 of those people laughed their ass off and left. Said, Bill, you are crazy. You're going to go up against IBM. You're going up against Texas Instruments. Are you crazy? Look at him now. Look at him. He buys for 1 and 2 wealthiest man in the world all the time. And I know what's going to happen here. I'm going to get in that conversation with some of these guys. I'm going to get in that conversation. You know why? Because I said so. And because I have the drive and I have the skill set, and more importantly, I've got the vehicle to get me there. And in that vehicle, I've got some incredible passengers with me. And some of them are listening to me right now. And I believe it's you, for those of you that accept it. I don't think it's any accident you're watching this today. It's you. Say it. Say it's me. I'm going to be along for the ride. I'm going to be one of those key individuals that get to tell the story. And we're writing a book about this, by the way. It's going to be an autobiography of my life. Who's going to be in it? Whose name am I going to mention? Whose names am I going to mention in that book? People have been trying to get me to write books for years. I will write an autobiography. And I can't wait to write the names down of the warriors who were not afraid of challenge, who weren't afraid of formulation, who weren't afraid of concentration, who knew that we had to get to momentum and experience explosive growth. But you don't get there without your formulation and concentration. And that's the warriors I'm developing right now. my formulation and concentration warriors. What do you think I'm doing all the time? But I'm not talking to you. I'm building this dynasty. Listen to me. Coffee with 47 countries, and we'll be in over 80 in the next 2 to 3 years. And all we got to do is just keep teaching people the right philosophies, the right mindset, supplement your income, replace, get financial freedom, figure out which one you want, but at least supplement, stay in the game, keep passing out samples. The right people will see the right opportunity at the right time and take the right action. I just got to stay the course. I got to be self-motivated and stay there long enough until I'm a motivator. You hear what I said? You cannot dip to motivator. You can't let other people influence you who don't have what you want. I mean, I'm in the process. I'm about to get some people, man. I got to. And I'm going to get some things. And I'm going to get some people that's going to get free. It's happening. Do you hear my passion now? Do you know I'm taking this time out of my Saturday afternoon to talk to you? Because it's what I love. I love to see people get free, to motivate people. That's my inspiration now. Now you got coffee, and all we got to do is work this thing. 5 billion coffee drinkers in the world. We're going after at least 1% of the market in the next 5 to 7 years. I didn't say the next 5 to 7 months. The next 5 to 7 years, we're going to progress and keep duplicating, breaking diamonds. Just imagine. Instead of 57 unit sales, when we got 57 diamonds in SereniGy. There's going to be a day when that happens. In the near future, I predict, especially with who's coming on. It's going to happen. Now watch. If everyone just buys 3-4 boxes of coffee a month, and in some countries a couple of boxes, depending on where you're at, that's $50 or so average a month. We get at least 1% of the market, 50 million coffee drinkers. Man, we're doing $2.5 billion a month, sharing up to $1.25 billion a month in commission payouts. Watch out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be the best decision you ever made. Thank you for spending this time with me today. This ain't about me coming here spending time with you. This is about you spending time with me. This is not about J. Noland. Even though I put myself in great positions to do things I want to do, I know why I'm here. It's because of people like you. It's what you do every day. That's why I want you to get better. It helps me by helping you. Win-win. Thank you. I'm honored right now. I'm honored that some of you got stronger. Would you do me a favor? If you enjoyed this video, would you go over to my Facebook wall, facebook.com/J Noland. If you're not my friend, request me. If you're a SereniGy IBO, a good way too is to send me a quick message and go, my IBO number is this. Because if you request me as a friend, like right now I got hundreds and hundreds of requests that I haven't got to. Hundreds. And the reason I haven't got to them is because I always have to make sure that a person is a SereniGy IBO. So facebook.com/JAYNOLAND. Go over and make a few comments about how you felt today, about this time we spent with each other. Let's get real today. Let's share some love between each other. If you appreciate it, if you're proud of SereniGy, get on that thing. Let us know. And I'll end with this. I'm looking for warriors. And everybody gonna make this cut. I want some wealth warriors that's not afraid to defend SereniGy, not afraid to stand for SereniGy, not afraid to get in the trenches and put in work to get the job done. Because when we put in work, there will be times we play like nobody else plays. We spend money like nobody else spends money. It's worth it, guys, to be able to be who you really want to be. And I tell you, if I can tap that warrior in you, if I get that warrior out, you're going to be who you want to be. But you're going to have to fight for it. And you're going to have to fight for SereniGy. I wake up every day and I put my armor on. And I know I got battles to go fight. I know there's poverty that we got to address. I got 340 kids in Kenya, Africa. They depend on me. It doesn't matter what people are saying about J. Noland. It doesn't matter. I got to win for those kids. Right now, we're working on a new orphanage school in the Latino market. So for all my incredible Latino friends out there, that's going to be the next area we target for orphanage schools. We're working on the areas now. You know, we're screening different ones, but that's going to be the next children's program that we take on. And we're going to do this on every continent, guys, around the world. Appreciate the time. I'm honored. Thank you to ride with you on this journey. Have a great day. Bye-bye.